Hey everyone, it's me again. I want to talk to you about some other things as well. We spoke about the fire, the water storm, the mold, the aftermath. We are heading into the winter time. And in the previous videos that I've posted numerous places, I talk about electricity. And being that we have already had the storm, I want to talk to you all about your electrical real quick. Many of our fires are started from electrical issues, and electrical issues can start from anywhere, from the basement washer, your dryer. You can start from a faulty plug, wiring, your fuse box. You got the wrong amperage in there, and you're overloading the system, and it gets too hot. It can be from people just kids playing with matches and all these things. I would just want to give you guys a stronger understanding of what needs to get done to prepare yourself for the winter. So the flood has allowed many people to look at their situations from the electrical panels to their plumbers to the water heaters a little differently, right? Because they need to be replaced. Now, there are other options you have. You can do a tankless water tank. You don't have to have a water tank on the ground. You can have a tankless water tank. They also have it to where you can have your heat and your water tank all in one system. And you need to evaluate and look at those because those things are very costly. But what happens is if you have these type of situations, you don't have to worry about having going without water or heat, right? So look at those. And another thing you got to understand is that you have a fuse box. So your panel boxes, a lot of them were underwater. They were affected by water. A lot of them took on sewage that they shouldn't have. And those things can cause corrosion. And we're looking about going into the winter. And going into the winter, we don't prepare ourselves properly. Please make sure, and these things are very important, make sure that your panel box get looked at by an electrician. Please have an electrician come out, spend the whatever money he needs to come out and evaluate your electrical panel box. Look at your wiring, make sure your wiring is good. Make sure you have the proper amperage, right? Make sure that you have the proper fuse in there because if you have a 13 amp or if you have a 12 amp and you're putting a 15 amp or 20 amp of power, it's going to keep breaking. You're going to keep hitting it, hitting. It's going to get hot. And eventually, you're going to have issues. So it's very important that we pay attention to ourselves coming up to the winter, which is coming up very soon, right? We're already, in September? So I preach this because, as soon as it starts to get cold, I start hearing more fire trucks, meaning that there are fires. Well, there are fires because you have not taken care of these situations before they happen, right? We plug all these heaters up which have small cords, right? So the lower the gauge, the bigger the wire. You must make sure that you have a bigger gauge wire, but you also too must make sure that the outlets are the proper ones. They're the proper amperage and make sure that they're grounded. So have an electrician come through your house. If you care about your family, if you care about your loved ones, if you care about your tenants, if you just care about your property, you want to make sure that you spend that extra money and invest in your electrical upgrades, and your electrical upgrades would save you in the long run. Now, if you have a multi-family, you may want to look in wiring your smoke detectors to your box, right? Which is very, very important. It is a key. I know many of us have people living in basements and they only have one way out and all of the type of stuff. We know that happens, but you need to make sure that you prepare this matter, right? Even if you have to go get a fire extinguisher, put it downstairs in the area where it is, or just make sure that you do have the proper smoke detectors and carbon monoxide. And what is it going to cost you? $100 and something to buy those things and put them up. You save a life. You don't have to worry about lawsuits. You don't have to worry about losing the properties. You don't have to worry about long-term injuries and all those things. Just terrible. So we do have electricians on staff with our company, but more importantly, you can find whichever electrician you want and just have them come out and say, hey, listen, look at my box. This is what I'm going to do. Because remember, if you have a power failure and all your power goes out, you have to use a generator, right? So when you use a generator, that's gas, and that has only a certain amount of plugs, certain amount of outlets that you can use. So you may want to think about getting an external generator on the outside of your home. And this external generator is bigger than a regular generator. And this generator will be able to power up a lot of items in your home until you're able to get electricity back. But it's very important to understand your electrical panel box. Make sure you have enough the proper fuses. Make sure that you have enough amperage. Make sure that the wiring is correct. There's no corrosions. Make sure things are grounded. Make sure you definitely have smoke detectors. Make sure you're having carbon monoxide detectors there. And if you can get them the combination, that will be great. And here's the most important thing. Many of us take the batteries out of these things when they start beeping. Well, folks, when they start beeping, that means that it's low, right? It needs to be changed. So take that few minutes off of your social media watch that you do all the time and just go to one of your local stores and just buy yourself a pack of batteries so that if something goes down low again, you can add the batteries. But it's a life you save, and that is important because we're going to have a cold winter. We're going to have a cold winter. And in doing so, you start plugging up heaters and you start doing all these things. Well, if you, and I'm going to give you an example if you don't understand. You have a fuse downstairs that's 20 amps. Let's go 15 amps. And it is on 2 circuits that are in your living room. So you plug up 2 systems that are going to push you up to 20 amps. It doesn't stay on like that. It says 15. So you go down and you hit the switch to get it back on. So what is it doing? It is getting hotter and hotter and hotter, and then it will eventually ignite. And these are the problems that you have of overloading a circuit. And overloading a circuit is a very crucial piece that you guys need to be able to stay away from. And how do you stay away from that? Is call an electrician and have an electrician come out and look at your box. Spend a little bit of money to make sure you are up to code. And spread this message to your neighbors, to your friends, to your families, to your enemies, to your co-workers, anybody you can, because as much as we may not understand it, but it's very difficult to watch people lose their lives over something that could have been saved or could have been taken care of by just spending a few dollars, right? You're driving around in fancy cars, you buy all these clothes, you stand in line, you buy Jordans like you got no sense, right? You spend all this money on your nails and your hair and all these things, but you don't make sure that your security in your home is taken care of. You don't need bulletproof glass. You don't need bulletproof doors. Nobody's asking you that. What we're saying to you is making sure that your electrical is up to code, being that we've had this storm already, and some of these electrical boxes have been compromised from the water, and they're going to cause corrosions or anything. So just spend a little money. You know, you could hit me up if you want to. I'll get you an electrician out there. The fee that you pay to have them come out is nothing compared to the hospital bills, medical care, the funeral costs, whatever it's going to be for lives that may be lost, injuries that may happen, and overall, you're just losing your properties, your personal things that you work so hard to take care of, right? So I just wanted to bring you up to speed on that and give you guys that information because the winter is coming, and I just want to make sure everyone's safe. We are a restoration remediation cleanup company, and we take care of houses that catch on fire. But is it work for me? Yeah. But I only want it to be work for me when it is a fire that happened because it was unavoidable, or it was maybe, somebody lit something or something blew up. I don't know. I'm not trying to be harsh, but I don't want no one to have a fire because they failed to understand what I'm saying to them in this video. And then we have to go there and deal with that. Okay, guys, so I hope this video is informative. I'm going to always put up videos for you guys to try to give you guys some enlightenment because I would like to see people be well. Okay, so right now I'm doing a video for the people. And that's what I hope I'm doing it for, is for the people, because I make sure that my smoke detectors are up, and I make sure that I have my box have been updated and all those good things, okay? Because I care about my family and all those who may happen to come into my house. And plus, I work too hard to build this doggone thing, and it may not be the cleaning that I specialize in when getting my house together, because that's how it is when you have the service. You do very little of yours, and we're only doing that because we're doing construction in my house. But overall, my house is wired safely. So no matter what I put in, a high-powered air conditioner was 220. No matter if I run a furnace, no matter if I run heaters, whatever. I already have the power in my home to make sure that everything's right. I have my smoke detectors up. I have my carbon monoxide up. So I am fully ready. Okay, guys? So I hope this message will save a life.